Okay, here we go with some hints for homework sheet 2. The first question says find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. So bisector automatically means that the first thing we need to find is the midpoint. That is important. Once we've found the midpoint, then we need to work out the gradient. So we know the points E and F. So we're then going to work out the gradient of EF. Once we've found that, we're then going to find the perpendicular gradient. Once you have all of that, we can then use the perpendicular gradient and the midpoint in the formula y minus b equals mx minus a. For question 2, you've got f and g as two functions. You need to work out f of g of x. So we know that means the g formula goes into the f. So in other words, this x minus 3 goes in here for x and goes in there for x. So you have x minus 3 squared plus, you can do the rest yourself. Second part of the question says find the value of t such that h of t is equal to 0. So whatever you get this answer here to be, whatever that is, rewrite it in terms of t. So it'll come out to be something like t squared blah 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 t blah blah blah, and put it equal to 0. Factorise it to get your two little brackets, and then from your brackets you can work out what t is. Question 3, population of Iowa. So let's use P. So the population next year is equal to, now if 8% is leaving, that means 92% is left. So the population next year is 92% of this year's population plus the 400 new people who come to live in Iowa. Rewrite that as a decimal. Population of Iowa next year is 0.92 of this year plus the 400. Next thing to do is write down why your limit exists. Limit exists because work out what that limit is using the formula limit is c over 1 minus m. Find the limit and then answer the question in terms of whether Iowa will become a ghost town or not. Question 4. This is a bit of a monster question. Show that the altitude through C is. So I've told you what the first answer is you're looking for. Now an altitude is a line which cuts the other side at right angles. So the first thing you're going to do to find the altitude is you're going to work out what the gradient of AB is. From that, you're then going to work out what the perpendicular gradient is. And then you're going to use the answer for the perpendicular gradient and point C, because that's on that green line there. Right, you have found the gradient and you know it passes through point C. So use point C and this perpendicular gradient to give you the equation of the answer. And you're looking for x minus 3y equals 4. Your answer might look like that. You might have to do a weird rearrangement to get there. For the second part of the question, you have to find the equation of the median through B. Now a median is a line which goes straight across and cuts the other side in half. So if it's a median question that you're looking for, first thing you do is you find the midpoint. Then you use that midpoint that you've just found and B as the 2 points to work out the gradient. So let's say, for example, the midpoint was M. Next thing you're going to do is work out the gradient of BM. Don't need perpendicular this time. Use the gradient and the point B to get your equation of the line. Now once you've got your answer from part A and your answer from part B, the next thing you need to do is you need to work on simultaneous equations. And your simultaneous equations will give you your answer to the point that you're looking for. This point here, point R. Okay, after that question we're back to some nice easy stuff. Take 3 as a common factor. Then write it as your squared with whatever the number is at the end. Question 6. Here's your recurrence relation. You know that U2 is equal to 12. You know that U1 is equal to 30. So you plug both of these values into U2 equals MU1 plus C. Okay, so you end up with 12 equals M times 30 add C, or rearranging it, 30M add C makes 12. And we're going to store that answer for a minute or two. Repeat it again with the fact that you know that U3 is equal to 6 and U2 is equal to 12. So just repeat this process. You'll get a second answer, and once again simultaneous equations will eventually get you the values of M and C. Last question, number 7, the largest possible domain. Well, the largest possible domain is going to be determined by the bottom of that fraction. Okay, we know that one of the things that we cannot do in mathematics is divide by 0. So we are looking for 2x squared plus 4x. We do not want that to equal 0. So if you factorise as a common factor, 2x bracket, we'll just do it this way, giving you x equals, and then remember we can write it in our set builder notation, x, as long as x is a real number, such that, put your conditions in, and we're done. Hopefully that is some assistance to you.